Hi, and welcome back to Treasure Planet for the PS2. Supernova time.
Loose all solar sails! There to the braces! Brace up!
Full speed, Mr. Arrow, if you please.
Take her away!
Brace yourself, Doctor.
What the devil? Good heavens. The star pollution. It's gone supernova!
Evasive action, Mr. Turnbuckle! We've got to ride in the wake of this asteroid until we can get away from that blasted supernova!
Oh my. These shipwrecks are centuries old.
Oh, really old? Like your clothes?
Ha ha, Jim. I'll have you know my clothing is considered quite stylish in several parts of the galaxy. Maybe not at this part. Well, not yet at least.
Ah, same place as those old shipwrecks, eh?
Okay, Jim, you don't need to be so sassy. Activate the hammer switch. Okay, so yeah, now we are finally on a different planet. Well, technically, Crescentia Spaceport is a different planet, but you know what I mean. It just means, hey, finally doing this, and as I've said before, only one of these RLS Legacy stages takes place on the RLS Legacy, which I feel like I have to explain that the ship is called the RLS Legacy because it is named after Robert Louis Stevenson, you know, the guy who wrote the original book. Was there any reason behind these arms? Any reason at all? It's also very ironic because I am of the camp that Treasure Planet is better than Treasure Island. Yes, Treasure Island is a literary classic, you know, blah blah blah. I don't need to have to reiterate that. It's just because when you strip away the breathtaking like effects, the amazing like world building, and like the reinvention of certain things, this make it be in a sci-fi setting, it really does take just a lot of stuff like for an example, Jim and Silver's relationship. Like in the original, I don't know. Like, I love that the oh no, Jim got evaporated. Maybe I'll try to get that one first. Yeah. I love that they played more into the Jim having like daddy issues thing. You know, he's not like the spry, adventurous boy that he is in like, you know, the book in most versions. He's kind of bitter. He's a little like emotionally damaged, all things considered. And like really like it was ingenious, like really focusing in on a Silver being kind of this father figure for Jim. Like that was like beautiful. It's an because like they could have gone a lazy route with it. They could have made it just like the, you know, they could have made Silver like full-blown Disney villain evil. They could have just made him, you know, a monster. Whatever, teleport me. They could have played it more straightforward to the book. But no, they, like, the story team for that movie literally decided to go in a unique direction, and I love it for that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love, like, Muppet Treasure Island. Like, that's a film I really enjoy, but I don't know, it never worked. That or, like, even the original Disney adaptation just don't really work for me as much. Okay. Again, it's so good. It is such a good movie. It is. Oh, I guess you do technically go in the Legacy. Yeah. I just... Like, there were so many directions they could have gone with the film, and I'm so happy they went with that one. Like, Jim and Silver's goodbye scene, which it definitely will not be shown in this game because of how these clips work, is just amazing. Like, if you really do consider, like, Silver as, like, a Disney villain, like, he is, like, one of the few actually redeemable Disney villains. Because, like, I always argue that Silver isn't a villain, per se. He's an antagonist. But he has, like, a... Oh, crap. Oh, no. I didn't know that could happen. I don't know, because he's more, like, morally gray. I mean, you know. Like, when I made my Disney villain, like, thing for, like, my second channel, I really had to buckle down and realize that a lot of Disney villains aren't, like, what people consider a Disney villain is a little bit more, like, not as specific as some people think. And I stand by that. Like, for example, I stand by the fact that Amos Slade from The Fox and the Hound isn't a villain. He's just a jerk. He's a jerk who, by the end, learned his lesson. And the biggest comeuppance he gets is getting put into a leg cast and having to be, like, kind of looked after by the old lady. You know, she's still kind of getting back at him in some way, but still. And a similar thing with Silver, where I don't consider him a Disney villain full on. really... He doesn't follow... I don't know. I don't consider him like a Disney villain, is the best way I can put it. Like... I feel like he's in a bit more of an interesting, morally gray area. Especially in how things might have gone, things might have gone differently in the film if Scroop wasn't there. Because, yeah, like, Scroop was the one that really was pushing Silver on, like, being soft. He's the one who instigates that. He's the one who does all that stuff. Like, for me, a Disney villain is the main antagonist of a film who is evil, irredeemable, and just, they get what they deserve in the end. Silver gets redeemed in the end, to some extent, and then kind of like goes off to be, you know, his own morally gray self. Like, I do not consider him to be put in the same category as people like Jafar or Captain Hook. Frankly, I don't know, maybe it's because of, like, I don't want to go too deep into it, especially because, like, it's just such a stupid topic, but, like, I almost wanted to make a video about it. Like, particularly make a video about how, I'm trying to think. Particularly about how, like, Disney villain discourse has always just been stupid. It's always been annoying. It's always been just not fun. You know, it's just... At a certain point, it stopped being fun. Like, wham! Big Hero 6 had a twist villain. I will defend, like... I will defend Callahan as a villain, because he actually works very well. Especially in how him and Hero are essentially mirrors of each other and how they handle their grief. Big Hero 6 is one of my favorite Disney films, by the way. Oh, there was one right here. Or how...
All right.
I mean, because, like, don't get me wrong. There are bad Disney twist villains, or just ones that are not interesting. Like, I'll say it. I'm not the biggest fan of Frozen 1 anymore because Hans kind of drags the movie down a little bit. Like, he works for the film, it's just... I much prefer Frozen 2, where the closest thing to a villain technically is the grandfather, who's like already dead before the film starts. Technically, if you want to be more specific, the main villain of Frozen 2 is racism. Or like fear of the unknown. Oh my god, I just got that because of the fact that, like, you know, Into the Unknown. Oh my... I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. But... I don't know if I need these arms, I'm just gonna do that. But yeah, like... I didn't need these arms. yes, like... Oh, this. Hell, it's why that's a good reason why I really love Wish so much. Magnifico is a great Disney villain, and I will not... And please do not R. I don't want... if you feel differently, that's fine. Just... I'm not gonna change your mind, you're not gonna change my mind. I'm just saying that, like... he is such an amazing villain in that. The way he starts off in the film, you know, because he at one point was earnest. He did actually have a good moral compass, but it just got slowly twisted over the years because of his own ego, which he just kept inflating. Dude literally walks around with a cape that has his main initial on it. Like, seriously. And when Asha, you know, rightfully calls out the fact of, like, well, you know, after he basically tries to gaslight her into thinking that her grandfather's wish is bad and that he can't grant it, and she, you know, is the first person to ever call him out on the fact that, like, first person we know, I want to say. Like, there might have been others, but... Okay, sorry. Where was I? Right, and when Asha rightfully calls him out, and the first person that we know of who has called him out, what does he do? He immediately starts trying to assert his dominance. There has to be another hand. I'm gonna double check. He starts to assert his dominance, and because at that point he's just completely far gone, and because yeah, it is kind of like hell. Even Asha flat out says, well, you know, if the wishes are bad, like if they legitimately are bad and can cause trouble, then you can stop them. Which is like, yeah. But here's the thing. If Magnifico gives, you know, if he allows people just to give, you know, to do their own wishes, you know, showing that they don't necessarily need him, then they won't. Then to him, they won't need him, and they might leave. Same thing if he just granted everyone's wishes. Which I've heard so many misinterpretations. Asha did not at any point say, you know, I want you to grant all the wishes, like right now. Like, she didn't. She was just pointing out the logical flaw, which no one... I want to say no one has ever done. For all I know, because... There's a dungeon. There is a freaking dungeon that they have. Like, I don't know. My point being, is that he's then called out for this. He then and then does that. And then in an attempt to, like, not lose his power, he goes for even greater power. Because again, dude had a... That's the thing I always think about. he could have destroyed the book. Or he could have hidden it in a better place than his office. And the fact that, like, when Asha flat out said, why does he have it? He just says, oh, well, a king has to be prepared. Prepared for what? Like, he was, like, it really does feel like he was just waiting for someone to call him out. Because again, he literally did all this simply because a freaking 17-year-old girl called him out on his BS. And then what happens? Like, he goes full Disney villain mode, and that's something. Like, oh man, like on the Blu-ray, the directors talked about how like other Disney villains come onto the scene and they're already like the villain. They become fully firm with him. It's a slow progression. And it's magnifique. Again, if you feel differently, cool, good for you. You know, people have different opinions. And I hope with like Magnifico, we are finally back to the, you know, traditional Disney villain. Damn it. Thing. But I don't know. I worry that that I'm poking the bear's nest on this one. But it's just like freaking animation discourse just focuses way too much on stuff like that. Like, I would rather have, again, I will flat out say this, I would rather have 1,000 Disney movies where there is no main villain. It's a concept, or it's just kind of like more of a low-key slice of life film with just where the conflict is character driven. Than that, like, I will take damn it. I would take 1,000 Show Yourselves or Into the Unknowns from Frozen 2 than 100 Be Prepareds. Because you know what? Because this stuff can go bad. This stuff can go in, you know, bad directions. And I mean, like, hell, this happens all the time. I mean, like, you know, no spoilers, but like, I like Strange World. That is an underrated Disney film. That movie has the problem of the conflict in the third act is a little like it makes sense and it works for the movie, and I'm really glad that like the characters in question didn't just, I don't know, be like, oh, we're suddenly evil now, oogie boogie boogie boo. Like, no. But I'm glad that, you know, like Moana 2, I really crap. Like Moana 2, I really hope we get like a Tamatoa type. Which, hell, even Moana did that, where freaking like where the fucking, like, you know, main villain wasn't actually the one we thought was the main villain. It was all just a misunderstanding. With how Maui did his bull. You know, and like, you know, but we still got Tamatoa as like a brief little side thing. Who, you know, like, Similarly, they could have done something lazy and just had it been revealed that, ooh, he was the one who took, like, Tafiti's heart or whatever. But no, he's just a fun little one-off. And he is a memorable one-off. Like, I'll argue the reason why, like, Hans doesn't work as a villain for me is because of the fact... is because of just, like, certain aspects of him. Actually, I hate to say it. Oh, the reason why Hans is so hated is because he's a tool. He's an effective tool to move the plot along, but he's not the good part about Frozen 1. The good part about Frozen 1 is, like, Elsa and Anna's relationship. And the subversion, oh my god. If I can't get this soon, I'm gonna just jump cut. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. Yeah, it suddenly dawned on me the fact that, there's no bombs over here, so there's no reason to get the hands. So you just use the cannons, it's... Actually, that is very Jak and Daxter. But yeah. I don't know, that's my 2 cents on the matter. And, like... You know, if you feel differently, you know... I don't know, just... Again, please... God, please keep it civil, if you do. And I will not be arguing with anyone, wait, can I... Okay, now I will probably explain this right now, so yeah. I kind of went over this last time, I believe, or previously, I don't remember when. But yeah, the game will lock you behind boss fights. So, even if I collect all of the things in Meteor Belt and the Arcturian Trader, you cannot go to Treasure Planet until you beat Scroop. And if I remember correctly, Silver will block you later on. So yeah, next time will be the Meteor Belt. Which, last time I tried playing this, literally gave me hell. But I spent... But again, I like separate this by at least one apart, and I spent too long ranting. So, see you next time. Nah.